Hey everybody, welcome back to my survival series here on the channel. I'm your host Boomer, and today we're going to do a base tour, get you updated on what's going on. If anybody watched the More Researchers video, I think I briefly mentioned that I simply have taken some time off from recording and playing a whole lot. The whole lot playing actually turned into a little bit, but I did take some time off recording. I've been traveling for work extensively. I racked up somewhere in the neighborhood of $15,000 of flights this year. I needed a break. So we took a little bit of break, and I want to update you on where we're at. Don't worry, we're going to keep going. We're going to finish Chris Historia eventually. But right now, we are in my Iron Golem Hall. And you'll notice, if you've seen the previous video, that all the Iron Golem farms are gone. This was the first major change I made because what was happening, even though physically the zombie could not reach the villager, somehow villagers were randomly dying. And I kept having to bring more and more in here, and I finally got tired of it. And I should have done this off the bat, but I thought creating a vanilla Iron Golem farm, making all those common heads for Supreme would have been really cool. I had 40 farms going, and it turned out to be more of a headache, and it was slower than 40. Heck, it was slower than 30 Slime Fun Iron Golem Assembler farms. Now, I don't have 30. If I did my math right, I have 108 running right now. Let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm trying to do math on camera here. It's a bad idea, but it's 12 wide by 9 deep. Yeah, so 108. Every 30 seconds, when the server isn't lagging, the Iron Golem assemblers will all produce Iron Golems for me. Now, you'll notice there's a lot of heads on the ground, right? Each one of these sections has 4 cargo nodes and I believe 2 power nodes. There's 5 cargo and 2 power. Yeah, it's 5 cargo and 2 power nodes per section. But like clockwork, every one of these goes off just like that. Iron Golems get spawned. I collect 108 heads every 30. Well, my server's lagging a little bit, so not every 30 seconds, but I do collect quite a few. You'll see the carved pumpkins on the ground. That's that bug with cargo, where if there's a tiny bit of room, it will kick some in. Let's see, where are we here? Okay, so we're bringing in empty mob techs, and here we're sending back the empty heads. You'll notice something. There's no longer cargo coming out here. Actually, it still is. I buried it for now until I can make the Dynatech Tesseracts. I have my spawn chunks very carefully set so that all of this stays running no matter what. So this was also expanded and the theme carried on. The stairwell leading up is gone, or I should say sealed in, no longer accessible. And this is where cargo picks up. So now I have coming out, I still have some work to do. I do have to bury those. Let's kind of speed this up. All right, first thing you're going to see is, oh my gosh, Boomer, what the heck did you do? And actually, what you didn't see was probably a whole nother setup that was out here. This is actually the third, if I remember right, the third iteration of farms out here. And just by looking, you should be able to tell that clearly there's way more than 2,000 nodes on here. How the heck is this running? So let's talk first about how it's set up, and then I'll tell you about what's set up. Now, I apologize. There's going to be a little bit of visual lag. I've shut off everything else I can on my server, and I might have my recording settings just a little bit high, but there's also roughly 4,500 energy nodes out here. I mean, that's just sheer lag that's going to create from visual perspective. The TPS on the server is a perfect 20, but we're going to have a little bit of lag. When I don't record, I don't have this lag. So I'm getting a little bit of both, probably combined. But let's talk about what's in here. So first thing I did in here is I cleared out about 700 machines. It's still a little messy. It's not finished yet. This is not the final version. And I've been upgrading the tech generators to level 9 accelerators, and I've got cloners coming. That farm is slowly moving forward. Anything over here has at least one set of level 9. Those don't, and it's going to take a while for sure. All right, how do I have all those networks out here? I think you guys have seen what most of the stuff in here is already. How do I have so many nodes running and the server's not crashing? Well, this network that we're standing in, this third network over here, all this is attached. Yeah, even that's attached. It runs underground coming out of here, I believe, and moves over, and it comes up in a couple of spots. So you'll see, here's one spot where it comes up, where I'm bringing in the ruins, the dust, and I'm making the genes, and then the common golems are being shifted out here. So this side, let me turn my crosshairs on. This side is the inside network in there. This out here is on this network. This is focused specifically on making Berserk 9s. Right now, I've probably made somewhere in the neighborhood, I'm going to say, of about 3,200. I have a long way to go. Probably need at least 10 times that. Getting really close to being able to send 32 into another tech generator. What I didn't realize when I looked into God, I actually learned something, is that for this particular gene, or for this particular robot, the tech mutation chamber on level 3 is actually 100%. I did not realize that. When I had looked in here, right, and the chances were 80% across the board, so I assumed that that was 80% as well. But look at this. So the Berserks are actually 100% chance. So here I thought I needed 1,900 level 3 tech generators or tech mutation chambers to get 1 9 running nonstop. And actually you only need 512. The cloners, however, are 80% success rate. So you really have to add 25% every level you go down for failure to keep 1 running. So that one's going to take over 1,900. But we're going pretty good. We're about 30% of the way there of filling what's needed to keep a level 9, or excuse me, a chamber making level 9 heads nonstop. All right, so we have one network coming up here. We have another network collecting various mob drops. So I did a tutorial on the, sorry, I want to get the exact name, the mob collectors. And they were all tier 1 mob collectors, which meant you could pull from 4 blocks away. Well, I've created a new farm on the level 2 that will do it 8 blocks away. Now, the one thing you're probably looking at this going, oh my gosh, that's insane. There's got to be a better way to do the energy connectors. Actually, there's not. I did try doing the math and putting them in the middle this way and going up and down. Well, it's 225. Because I'm sharing energy connectors between 2 farms, each layer requires 30 plus those 6. Each layer is 36. There's 8 layers. So when you do the math, it's 288. But you're actually sharing 1 between the 2. So this actually does become the most efficient layout for the energy connectors. So what's going to happen, this will eventually be over 1,800 or almost 1,800 mob collectors on one network. The cow will be one network. Then this one will become one network for my spider. Then my chicken, then my sheep, then my pig, then my skeleton. And so we'll have multiple networks like that out here. This row was supposed to be temporary to help try to speed things up so that I could actually remove them by getting enough cores going to make those. And so these will eventually find their way out of here and go by. Let me just make sure that that hasn't glitched. Okay, so actually my storage unit might be filling up finally. So maybe I can start to remove a few of these just to help reduce the demand on the server. But all of this will eventually go out of here. What about all these? As you can see, again, a dual network setup. So I have one network from inside the base is my bottom, and then this side is for these. So we have the MK2 growth chambers making the core of life here. And this is our Carved Pumpkin Farm, the Slime Frame, sorry, the Supreme, not Slime Frame, the Supreme Virtual Gardens turn pumpkins into carved pumpkins. It's the only machine that does that I'm aware of, which will fully automate then my Iron Golem farm as soon as they become carved pumpkins. The next network, right, it shoots over 10 blocks later. Now we're making the core of nature, with the exception of the apple, which is part of core of life. But again, this side, the network can pull them back into the machines and they all run great. Over here, we have core of block. Now, I hope that I can take all of these EMC materializers out of here. There's somewhere in the neighborhood, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's roughly 4,600 EMC materializers running out here. And then there's like another 300 in there. I need to get rid of these. This is unsustainable. And so a lot of this will move to the tech gens once I have enough accelerators, cloners to support removing these. I also have Chicken Engineering's excitement chamber. And as you take a look, my gas tiers, I'm so far ahead, I could probably take at least a third, if not half of these out right now, probably a third easily. But the goal is, again, is to move everything into the tech chambers. And in that way, with enough robots, for example, this whole row right here, with what it produces, let's see, so that right there is almost 1,400 EMC materializers. Should be able to be replaced with 36 tech generators with level 9 robots for all 4 types, 2 cloners, 2 accelerators. That's the goal. So I had to go boomer to go boomer, right? All right, that's not all. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different networks tied back to 1, and will eventually become 12 at some point. But again, the goal is to remove all of that, well, except for those. All right, over here, what's going on over here? Another massive, massive farm. I'll give you guys about 10 seconds to try to figure out what could this farm be for. So if you take a really close look, we have the MK2s, and then we have the resin extractors and the rubber factories. This is a plastics farm because I'm trying to make the crafted robotics, right, for the Berserk or the accelerator, the robotic accelerator one, the one you got to craft. So if you take a look, each one of these stacks is 56 machines or 112 network nodes. So just on the plastic alone, I'm making 232 sheets of plastic every 10 seconds. That actually is keeping up. The problem I'm having right now is synthetic diamonds because I just can't keep up for the life of me. I'm making somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 every 6 seconds, and I can't keep up. So this can also, all of this can be replaced by 32 tech gens at the highest tiers. I don't have enough to make it really worthwhile to take this down yet, and so I'm just going to let it run, plain and simple. Maybe I'll upgrade my storage unit to a 2 billion, let that fill, then I'll take everything down and start moving into tech gens. Just to get a rough idea, when I did a timings count, let me see, and I don't know if everything's loaded here. 34,658 Slime Fund blocks placed. And what's killing me, believe it or not, it's the energy regulators. I mean, they're taking up 45 milliseconds here. But you look how many pushers and grabbers I've got, right? I have 16,000 pushers and grabbers alone. The autocrafters are taking up some time. That one's a little heavy on the server, but all in all, with only 3 gigabytes of memory on a server, actually, when I'm playing by myself, I don't have visual lag, I don't have TPS lag, and the server only has 3 gigabytes, and I just upgraded it to 3. I was running at 2 for the first 2 years. No issues whatsoever. I finally started getting warnings I was running out of RAM. So, and there's 80 more machines you're not seeing anyways. So that's kind of what we've been working on, is trying to increase pace. I can't tell you how many times I've taken machines down, rebuilt it because I needed, an extra 7 making this or 5 making that. And then I'd have 4 piles or 4 stacks in 4 different places. So I'd tear them all down, move them, put them together. So we do have a few more EMC machines in here. I've added a few more Infinity Quarries. And also power. You wonder how we doing power-wise, right? So these are all Infinity panels generating 120,000 joules per second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, almost 11 full layers of 9 per layer. So it's essentially almost 100 layers generating 120,000 joules per tick. So do the math, right? I'm making 12 million joules per tick if I'm doing this right, and I'm barely keeping up. The cushion is there because I'm positive, but I'm not that far away. A couple Infinity Quarries, and that number starts dropping from 522 million rather rapidly. So I'm chewing up a ton of power. We've got a ways to go yet. The goal is to remove as many of those as possible, as many of those machines out there. There's a lot of work to do, but I just wanted to give everybody kind of a quick update, what's been going on, where we're at, what I've been working on. Well, I will be continuing to work on that. The next episode, we're going to get back to Crystame. I'm at 505 items chronicled roughly. The problem I'm stuck with right now is I need a tier 3 of the realization altar because I have a lot of things that won't become realized until I do, and I don't have enough epic. It's either the epic or it's the rares. I don't have enough of those. I don't have enough epics. One of the two. So I need to get very strategic in getting this upgraded. So anyways, guys, we're going to wrap this up here. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Appreciate it. Don't forget, when you're playing Slime Fun, you got to go Boomer or you got to go home. We'll see you later.